Good evening. This is Susie Jackson with your September voting tidbit. Your tidbit for today is that you will need to show a North Carolina driver's license or other acceptable photo ID to vote with a regular ballot in the 2024 general election due to an April 23 ruling by the North Carolina Supreme Court. What are acceptable IDs? Well, the North Carolina driver's license, but it must not be expired or expired for 1 year or less. A non-driver's ID from the North Carolina DMV, free to residents who show a birth certificate or other document, must not be expired or expired for 1 year or less. A U.S. passport or a U.S. passport card must not be expired for 1 year or less. A driver's license or non-driver's ID from another state, the District of Columbia or a U.S. territory, only if the voter is registered in North Carolina within 90 days of the election, must not be expired or expired for 1 year or less. College or university student ID approved by the North Carolina State Board of Elections. You need to check to make sure that your university ID is approved by the State Board of Elections. Must not be expired or expired for 1 year or less. State or local government or charter school employee ID approved by the North Carolina Board of Elections, and it must not be expired or expired for 1 year or less. A North Carolina voter ID card, and this is free, and it's used by a county board of elections. The voter must provide, you can get this from the county board of elections too. The voter must provide his or her name, the date of birth, and the last 4 numbers of their social security number, and have their photo taken. And it must not be expired for 1 year or less. A tribal enrollment card must be issued by a tribe recognized by the North Carolina or the federal government. May be expired or have no expiration date. Military or veteran ID card issued by the U.S. government. This may be expired or have no expiration date. A public assistance program card ID issued by the U.S. government or the state of North Carolina, and it may be expired or have no expiration date. What else do you need to know? A voter 65 years or older may use an expired form of acceptable ID if the ID was unexpired on their 65th birthday. It's good for life. The address on your ID does not matter in order to vote. The law says ID is only used to prove who you are, not where you live. Make sure your voter registration matches your current address. Mail-in absentee ballots now need to include in their ballot return envelope either a photocopy of their photo ID or an ID exception form saying that they are unable to attach a photocopy of the ID. This has been Susie Jackson with your September tidbit, and it's been a lot, but I'll see you in October.